everyone, it's Mr. Smith. So I just wanted to talk about a problem that some of you guys might be having if you're copy and pasting code into Replit. And I want to start off by saying that at the time that I'm recording this, I don't have any problem with you guys collaborating or searching for some code to get some ideas of how to solve whatever problem you're trying to solve. And in the real world, um, that's just how how problems get solved. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. If there's an existing solution, we use it, we adapt it to our purposes. Um, at this time, if you guys are working together on the assignments, I really don't care as long as you're able to understand whoever's code you're using, and at the time of the exams to be able to solve problems without relying on copying code from someone else, because you will certainly not be given enough of an opportunity to do that. So going back to the original point, here is a problem that some of you guys might have encountered, and it has to do with some of the hidden characters that get kind of injected or replaced in text when you're moving between different text editors or different operating systems. If you guys remember that there's a specific character code, it's a number that represents either a character, like the Roman alphabet letter D, a colon, or also the action of starting a new line is encoded as one of these characters. And so we don't always see all of the character codes that are being used in your text. So the issue I'm trying to point out here is that we're in Python and we're following the rules of indentation. If you haven't gotten to defining functions or methods yet, then don't worry about this. Just accept that this is correct indentation. So this issue has to do with indentation and the symbols that are used to say hit a new enter or make a tab, right? So right now we're following the rules. We're defining this function sales, and we're indenting once for all of the stuff that is part of the definition of this function sales. So everything here is indented one time. You'll notice that this stuff here, these couple lines here are trivial. They're really easy to understand. We have the right number of parentheses here in this assignment statement. We're taking the input. We're pulling out an integer value from the string, converting it into an integer, and saving it in a variable here. So this line is pretty easy to understand, but I keep getting an error on this line. Amount equals 0. This is really, there's nothing to this, right? How could we be making a mistake in these three lines? I don't see any problem. And if I run it, I keep getting the same error. Inconsistent use of tabs and spaces in indentation. So of course in Python, indentation has some serious meaning, and you'll get syntax errors if you don't indent the right amount for whatever you're trying to do. So here's the issue, and here's how you fix it. This code came from somewhere else where going from this line to this line, some hidden characters were either injected or converted, and that represent a tab or a space or something like that. And so here, even though we see it only as one indent, there's actually some characters here that are suggesting that there's more than one indents. So the way to fix this is to simply do this, to backspace and hit enter. And notice my error went away there. So all I did is I went to the beginning of the line where I had the error. I backspaced a couple times. Now I have no space between the line above it and whatever the content is, the statement for that line. And then I hit enter and it auto indented. And so I backspaced away any of the hidden characters that were there, and that went away now. So I'm going to hit run, and we're going to see a new error further down. In fact, I can see it right here, but you'll see that we don't have an error on this line anymore, amount equals 0. Okay, so you see, now I have an error on this line. So if I want to fix this, I'm going to continue this process, backspace this, hit enter. Now that's fixed. If I run it again, okay, so there we go. So you may have to do this multiple times to get to wherever you're trying to get. And this really is an indication that you copy and pasted this. And you know, there's just some hidden characters that were injected in there. And I got to tell you, I remember being stuck on something like this for hours when I first started working with Python, and I just couldn't figure it out. And really, there's no way for me to figure it out unless you understood that idea that different text editors are going to be using these different character codes for these symbols like enter, tab, and when you switch between them, if you copy from one, your web browser or something, or you copy from Notepad and Windows, you move to Mac or something like that, sometimes you'll have this issue. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you. If you ever encounter that, I hope that you won't get stuck for hours like I did. And that's all I wanted to say.